I've drawn my cat inspired by Laurel Birch, and now I'm going to add really bright, vibrant colours to it. I'm going to be using Inktense colour blocks, and you'll see why in a moment, but this would also be a lovely project using pencil crayons or watercolour pencils. Either would work really, really well. But I'm going to be using the Inktense blocks because they give very bright, vibrant colours. I haven't put the patterns on the cat yet, but I have drawn some ideas for where I might put different colours for the blanket effect across this cat. And I'm going to begin by looking at colours that naturally go together. So here are some that I've taken out of my box. They could do with a bit of a clean up, they're a bit grubby, but they'll be okay. So I've got a dark green and a light green, and obviously green comes from yellow and blue. I've got a couple of different blues there. I also have red and orange, and I have some pinks and purples. And here you can see why I'm thinking about using the Inktense blocks. So these are Inktense block colours, and these are Inktense pencils, because you can also get the Inktense colours in pencil, but I'm going to be using the blocks today. They're slightly more intense than the pencils. I'm going to begin by adding some red, and then I'm going to move on to some orange and some yellow. So I'm looking at primary and secondary colours and then blending them to create tertiary colours as well. And I'm going to add the red here. Now we don't need, oops, I've already gone over the line, that's not very good, is it? Pay attention. We don't need a lot of colour with these blocks, and I'm not going to try and go all the way up to the line, because if I do, I'm probably going to make a mess of that, and I can do that with my brush. I'm just going to add the colour on where I want it to go. Now I want it to, at the moment it looks quite dull, and that's usual for Inktense colours. They always look a little bit dull when they're dry, but when you wash them in, they are a super bright colour. I'm going to add in some orange, and I'm not bothering to go up to the line because I don't need to. I'm more likely to go over it. Don't worry if you go slightly over the line, it's not the end of the world. You'll be able to change that when you draw your patterns and correct any small errors that you've made. So here I'm just going to put some yellow down at the bottom. So I'm going to go from red to orange to yellow just there. And then on the face, I'm going to have some yellow here. And for this I am being quite careful. I don't really want to go over. So yellow at the bottom and here as well. And then some much darker purple at the top. Right, should we have a look and see what that looks like when it's washed in? I'm going to work upside down from the lightest colours first. So I'm going to begin with the yellow. I'm very carefully going up to the line, but not actually trying to necessarily get to the line, just going up to it. And you can see why I wasn't too worried. Ooh, I've got a bit on the end of my brush about colouring in all of the gaps. So here's my orange. I'm just going to wash that bit in first, and then I want to blend it. So making sure I haven't got too much water on my brush, and just very gently. And what I'm creating here is a tertiary colour. So where I have orange, that's a secondary colour, and where the orange is meeting the yellow and blending in, I have something called yellow orange. We always begin with the prime colour first, which is yellow, and yellow orange is it's called a tertiary colour. Too much water, try not to get too much water on your brush. If you have, dab it off on a paper towel. And I want to blend my red into my orange. So where the red blends into the orange, I will have, you've probably guessed it, red orange, which is also a tertiary colour. You'll notice how orange always comes second. Poor orange, never first, always second, because it's not a prime colour. So I'm happy with that to start with, and I'm going to wash in the rest of the face, and then I'm going to add colours all the way along. Lovely, bright, vibrant colours. These are the ones that I've chosen until the whole cat is painted.